Hey everybody, this is Dr. William Clark here for Leadership Conversations. This is the show where we talk about leadership according to the world that matters to you. Now, I want to talk to you for a few minutes about developing new leaders. Now, I tend to cover this topic often, and every time I write about this topic for a new podcast show, I tend to forget, oh yeah, I did kind of talk about this several times before, but this topic, it keeps coming up for me because it's so near and dear to my heart because one, I love leadership, and I just believe in the concept of developing other leaders. It is essential to any organization's ability to thrive and survive. And so perhaps, I don't know what version of this topic I'm on or how many times I've covered it, but I do want to talk about developing leaders, and there are a couple of steps I do want to cover in terms of what it takes to develop leaders. The first thing I'll say is invite the emerging leader you're looking to develop to the table. When I talk about the table, I'm talking about invite them to the conversation, invite them to where you're going, show them how you do your job, what you expect, show them how you expect them to do their job. You want them present so that you're introducing them to your friends, to people that are decision makers. You want them to be able to see how the sausage is made. Without that context, it becomes extremely difficult for emerging leaders to feel confident about what you are passing on to them. I've seen situations where emerging leaders have been hand selected and it has been told to them, hey, you are next, you are what we are looking for, and we want you to come on and take on this role. And because this emerging leader didn't see the vision, they don't understand what it takes to do the job, they kind of backed off and said no thank you. So one of the ways to combat that as a leader is to invite the person you're developing to the table. The second thing I would encourage you to do is to give the emerging leader responsibility. Now, it's impossible to say, I want you to lead and not say, here's something to do. There should be always something for the emerging leader to do, to work on, to develop, to cultivate, because that's one of the ways that the emerging leader is going to be able to develop their own skill set, their own competency, their own comfort level in doing the job that you're trying to task them to do. Leadership is an experiential thing. You can go and learn about leadership as I did and learn the theory and the philosophy behind it, but without the experience, without that opportunity to practice what you're preaching, practice what you're thinking, practice what you're reading about, it's difficult to say that a leader is being properly developed. And so it becomes incumbent upon you as the leader to give the emerging leader some responsibility. Here's a third thing that I thought about when it comes to developing new leaders, and that is allow the leader to deal with the consequences and to reap the rewards of a decision. Now, we are so quick to try to kind of protect our emerging leaders from the real world, and that's not healthy. It's important for your leader, the one that you're developing, to figure out and to learn what it means to win and to fail, what it means to succeed and to fall flat on your face. Without those pivotal, seminal experiences, failure and success, leaders won't know what it feels like to do either. And by shielding them from failure and success, you're taking away the opportunity for them to develop the intuition that is necessary to know when failure is on the horizon or when success is on the horizon. It's essential for the leader to develop his or her gut, their intuition, their sixth sense. And so when that develops, a leader knows what to expect down the road. And I can tell you, leading teams, leading organizations, that sixth sense has come into play so many times. And it's because the people that have developed me allowed me to fail. They allowed me to succeed on my own. Now, the fourth thing I'll share with you, and this should probably go without saying, and sorry for emerging leaders that I have to say this out loud, but leaders know this. You got to trust but verify. So it's one thing to trust a young leader, an emerging leader, to take on new responsibility, to lead a team, to manage a budget, to bring a project to completion. But part of that trust process must include the verification process. And if you're not verifying the work that's being done, you're not doing the emerging leader any favors. You got to make sure that they're following through. They will make mistakes. They will make missteps. But in that process, trust them, but verify the work that they're doing. Now, here's the thing that senior leaders must master. Here's the fifth thing: we got to master this at all costs. It's important that we master this thing, and when we master this thing, our leaders under us will thank us. And that is number five: getting out of the way. How many times have you given over leadership responsibility to someone just to take it back? How many times have you assigned a project to someone just to take it back? Or you claim nobody can do it as good as you, nobody is as faithful as you, nobody is diligent as you? That's not true, right? People who are invested in their own future will care. They will care about the project, they will care about the customer, they will care about the work, they will care about every element that is involved with the work. Trust your people, trust them to do their job, trust them to do what they have been hired to do, trust them to do what you are developing them to do. And your job as the senior leader, as the most seasoned leader, is to get out of the way, because when you stand in the way, you prevent their growth, you prevent their development, you prevent them from being the very best version of themselves that they can be. It's Dr. Wayne Clark here for Leadership Conversations, and I hope this was helpful. We'll see you in the next show.